information about what the heck's going on in Murrieta. So to do that, we're going to bring on the lady that knows all, even carries her own sign, Kimberly Davidson from the city of Murrieta.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kimberly Davidson with the City of Murrieta. I am the Business Development Manager, and is this not just the coolest ad ever? It's Brenda, for those of you who don't know, but you probably do know her. That's why we used her in this ad. She's just the friendliest person at City Hall, and we love her. We know that in previous years there have been complaints, and just complaints in general about government not being business friendly, and we've worked very hard to change that over the past few years. We put out ads like this, and we have a lot of business services that I'll be talking about as well. We also just published this magazine, which is everything that you ever wanted to know about Murrieta. Please pick one up. I brought some, they're over there. We did this for our ICSC trade show, so it has a little bit more of a retail focus. The reason was what we do when we go to ICSC, which is the International Council of Shopping Centers in May, when we go there to Vegas, is we always bring flyers of all of our available properties that a retail company could move into. Well, those flyers, as you can imagine, can be very cumbersome. We might, get to a meeting and think, oh, I wish I'd grabbed this flyer. So I thought, let's put it all into an encompassing magazine. And what's so cool about where I work is I come up with an idea and they say, do it, which is really cool, because most organizations aren't like that. So I'm very blessed, and this is a product of that. So please pick one up. And I've also put over there, we have some flash drives that have our mayor's video that talk all about Murrieta, and after you watch that at least once, you can delete it and then use the flash drive for storage. We actually tell people at trade shows that if you don't watch the video at least once, we'll find you, because we know who you are. And I think they might believe us. But, okay, so what do we have going on? Notes, lots of notes. We have a lot going on, guys. It's very exciting. A lot of cities across California, across the nation, don't have this much stuff going on. So I think once I get done here, you'll start to realize, oh yeah, I did see that construction, or I did see this. You drive around all day long and it kind of becomes background noise. Right now we've been working on the general plan. It's been a 22-month process, which sounds like that's, a really long time. But in my understanding of government work, that is actually really, really fast to redo a general plan. Incredibly fast. So they've been working on it a lot. They've been working on it very hard. And the general plan is kind of the blueprint for the city. Where are we going? What is the city going to look like in 30 years? What kind of businesses do we want to attract here? And actually, the planning department is who's really working on it, who's spearheading this. And they asked Bruce and I to sit with them last week and talk about what our vision is for the city, and that was really kind of cool. We came up with that every organization needs a unique selling proposition, right? What makes you different from your competitors? What makes us different from our neighbors Temecula? What makes us different from, say, Chino Hills? And what we came up with is, for one thing, we have a strong entrepreneurial spirit at Murrieta City Hall. We have a lot of people that work there that used to be in the private sector, that used to be business owners. They don't necessarily come from a government background. And that makes a huge difference in understanding how business works, understanding what you guys do every day, and understanding how to help you better. And so we try to encourage that at City Hall. We really want to help business to grow. See, there's so many notes on this page. We have, as part of the general plan, we have 3 major economic development corridors that we're actually funding the EIRs for. There's going to be a whole lot of acronyms here because that's how government works. EIRs are environmental studies. And what happens is, before a developer can come in and develop, these environmental studies need to be done and completed, and can sometimes take a really long time. It holds up the development process, but they're necessary and they have to be done. They can also be very pricey. So by us funding these EIRs and getting them done and out of the way, that leaves it open for a developer to just come in and start building. And those are what's called shovel-ready sites. And those are what developers are looking for right now, because as you can imagine, if you're putting in a multi-million-dollar development, time is money. You want to get open as fast as possible. So we have 3 major corridors: the north up by Loma Linda, the Golden Triangle area, and then the South Corridor, which is the Jefferson Business Park area. And we're funding some EIRs in there so that we can get some development going in those areas. Again, not something typically a city does, from what I understand. Yeah. Very cool. Up in the Loma Linda area, we're creating a brand new zone, which is going to be called Office and Research Park zoning. And what that will allow for is anybody up in that area that wants to develop something, it will need to be under those guidelines. It will need to be a research and development company, an office building, that sort of thing. So we're really trying to plan for what we want in this area. There's a couple of different ways that you can go about economic development, or I guess there's a couple of different ways you can go about really anything in life, and that's to sit back and wait for something to happen, or get out there and make it happen. And so we're getting out there and making it happen to make sure that it's what we want and not just what happens to us. Loma Linda Medical Center opened, as you know, in April, as well as the expansion of the Southwest healthcare system in both Wildomar and Murrieta, Inland and Rancho. And that helped us tremendously, although, as you probably know, we're still desperately underserved with hospital beds. So what we did was, we sit down and think about these things. What can we do about this? Obviously, we can't force someone to build a hospital, but what we did is we held a healthcare symposium at Bear Creek. We invited all of the top people from all of the hospitals, including Southwest Healthcare, including Loma Linda. They were there in attendance as well. And we actually got some very high CEOs from places like Rady's, Palomar Pomerado Hospital. We went out to visit Hoag. They weren't able to make it, so we went out to visit them in Orange County. And what we did was, first of all, we brought them to Murrieta. And they went, whoa, this is Murrieta? Yeah. And we took them to Bear Creek. And they went, whoa, I didn't know this stuff existed in Murrieta. And so then we educated them on what we have here and what we're lacking. And then kind of said, so wouldn't you like to build a hospital here? So, obviously from that meeting, no one's building a hospital quite yet. But that was the start of the marketing process to get them thinking about Murrieta, to educate them about why we need more hospitals out here, and to get the, truly it's, a company isn't going to come out here, and a hospital is a company. A company isn't going to come out here unless the CEO wants to live here, long and short of it. So you got to show them things like Bear Creek and our quality of life. So that's what we do. We try to explain to the CEOs what a great gem of the valley we have here, and they like to move their company here. We do a lot to promote entrepreneurial thinking within our community. As you probably know, we host a lot of international delegations. First of all, maybe you don't know that. I send out a lot of press releases, but I'm never quite sure who's actually getting it. We've had governments of Indonesia here. We've had the government of Kenya, Vietnam, what am I missing? Singapore. And some of these delegations are very, very high-ranking officials from those countries that would be comparable to our president's cabinet that we're meeting with. And the purpose of them coming out here is other countries, this is going to blow you away, other countries love goods made in the USA. What? They actually will pay more, from what we understand. They will pay more to buy something that says made in the USA. And they want USA products because they know we have a lot of regulation. They know that they're very good products. So what we'll do is we'll find out maybe Indonesia, for example, is made up of 17,000 islands. They have a huge problem with clean water and power getting it to the islands that are inhabited. So when they came here to Murrieta, we paired them up with a water filtration company in Murrieta and a biodiesel or bioenergy manufacturing that manufactures the stuff to make the biodiesel. So that would be their power. So that's what we do when we host international delegations. We try to pair them up with the companies in town that could actually sell to those countries. Because, hey, if one of our Murrieta companies can sell $5 million worth of goods to Singapore, that's just more money back in our community, right? That guy can then go buy a house in Bear Creek. We also have a couple of business incubators opening. And to some of you, I know before I started working at City Hall, I thought, what on earth is that? A business incubator is actually an organization that helps businesses to grow. Just like you would think of a little chicken warmer that helps chickens to grow, a business incubator helps businesses to grow. And we have 2 new ones in town. One is called TriTech SBDC, and they are an arm of the same, well, different branch, I believe, but the same type of SBDC that, same branch, thank you, that Paul Murrieta is with as well. And they're focused on technology companies. And then also we have another incubator that's going to be starting up in the Oak Grove Equities building that SBDC is federally funded. This one won't be federally funded. They're going to get funds from elsewhere. But the long and short of it is these incubators will be taking some of our home-based small businesses or even larger businesses that want to expand and providing them the resources so that they can expand. So we don't want you guys to think you're just out there on your own trying to do it by yourself. If you want to expand, there's actually some people in this room that we've helped move into larger facilities and help them expand. And we're very proud of that. We also, you've probably seen my business news that I send out. We announce grand openings. We announce businesses expanding. That doesn't just go out to our community, guys. That goes out to 7,500 contacts between here, Orange County, and San Diego. So that's that kind of exposure, letting people know. And our purpose is not only to bring you business, but to let the surrounding communities know that we've got a lot going on here. And we actually have to be very careful. Bruce would have me send out 3 emails a day if I let him. I have to tell them no a lot because there's just that much good news all the time. We have to be very careful what we send out. People would start getting what they have with us. But we also have the 3rd Wednesday of the month. I know you've heard me announce it before. A business roundtable, Murrieta business roundtable that we host with SCORE. And that's been very good. It's been going on for over 1.5 years now, every month. And depending on the topic and kind of depending on the month, we get about 20 to 40 business owners in there. And the idea is business owners helping business owners. We want to prevent you guys from all making the same mistakes over and over and over. Why not share with your neighbor and say, hey, don't do that. Jerry attends our business roundtable quite often. And it's, you know, they share their successes, they share things that have gone wrong. We typically have leading topics that we will be discussing, but it's not anything can be discussed, any business issue that you have. So it's really cool. It's free to attend. If you want more information on any of this stuff, just shoot me an email. And obviously we have so much